In the darkest days of World War II, a silent hunter roamed the Atlantic, an invisible predator coordinated by a weapon the Germans believed was absolutely unbreakable. This was the Enigma machine, a marvel of engineering and Germany's most protected secret. It used a series of electromechanical rotors to scramble messages, creating a code with an astonishing 158 quintillion possible settings. That's 158 followed by 18 zeros. Imagine trying to guess a password that complex. Every single day, at the stroke of midnight, the settings were changed across the entire German military. This daily reset made any attempt to break the code by hand a complete mathematical impossibility. For the Allies, the consequences were catastrophic. U-boat wolfpacks, guided by these unbreakable messages, were devastating the vital shipping convoys that kept Britain alive. The Allies were losing the Battle of the Atlantic, fighting a war in the dark, unable to see the enemy's next move. Breaking the Enigma code wasn't just a strategic goal, it became a desperate matter of national survival. The secret war against Enigma wasn't fought on the battlefields of Europe, but here, at a quiet, unassuming country estate in Buckinghamshire, England. Known only by its codename, Station X, this was Bletchley Park. It looked like any other grand old house. But behind its walls, one of the most critical battles of the war was being waged. This wasn't an army of soldiers, but an army of minds. The British government scoured the country, assembling a secret force of the nation's brightest and most unconventional thinkers. They recruited brilliant mathematicians, top linguists who could think in multiple languages, national chess champions capable of seeing dozens of moves ahead, and even the eccentric winners of difficult crossword puzzle competitions. Inside cramped, hastily built wooden huts, this diverse group worked around the clock, united by a single, monumental task. Their greatest weapon, the mind that would ultimately unlock the puzzle, belonged to a man who saw the world in a way few others could. The brilliant, visionary, and often difficult mathematician, Alan Turing. He was a genius who thought in pure logic, a marathon runner who sometimes ran the 40 miles to his meetings in London. He was precisely the kind of unconventional mind needed for an unconventional war. But it's crucial to remember that this victory wasn't won alone. The team at Bletchley Park built upon the vital, groundbreaking work done years earlier by a trio of Polish cryptographers, Marian Rejewski, Jerzy Rakicki, and Henryk Cygulski. These brilliant men were the first to truly analyze Enigma's internal wiring and provide the Allies with the critical initial insights and even a replica machine. Without their courage and intellectual groundwork, the Bletchley Park story might have ended very differently. Turing, however, grasped a fundamental truth. No matter how many brilliant people you gathered, a human brain could simply never move fast enough to outpace the Enigma machine's daily changes. He had a profound realization. The only way to beat a machine was to build another machine. Turing conceived of a new kind of device, an electromechanical brain that could think faster than any human. His idea was for a machine that could systematically and logically test thousands upon thousands of potential Enigma settings at an incredible speed, searching for the one correct key out of quintillions of possibilities. It was called the bomb. The name was inspired by the ticking sound of the original Polish machine, the bomba. Turing, along with fellow genius Gordon Welchman, vastly improved upon this original Polish design, creating an engineering marvel that stood over 6 feet tall and 7 feet wide. It was a massive clattering wall of spinning dials, worry gears, and intricate wiring, designed for one singular purpose: to find the daily Enigma key before it was too late. In operation, the bomb was a spectacle of noise and motion. Its hundreds of colorful rotors, corresponding to the rotors inside an Enigma machine, would spin rapidly, simulating the work of dozens of Enigmas all at once. The machine wasn't guessing randomly. It was on a logical hunt. It would test a possible key setting, and if that setting produced a logical contradiction, like a letter being encoded as itself, which Enigma never did, it would discard that possibility and instantly move to the next. It was a process of elimination on a massive industrial scale. The women of the Women's Royal Naval Service, the Wrens, were the ones who operated these colossal machines 24 hours a day. They would feed the machine a crib, a piece of German text they suspected was in the coded message, like a weather report or a standard sign-off. Then, they would listen intently to the clattering for hours. Suddenly, the machine would shudder to a halt with a loud bang. That stop meant a breakthrough. The bomb had found a potential solution. The codebreakers could then test it, and if it was right, they had the key to unlock every German secret for the next 24 hours. The intelligence gained from these decrypted messages was codenamed Ultra. It was the highest level of secrecy, and it was a complete game-changer. Suddenly, the lights were switched on. Allied commanders could read German naval communications, sometimes even before the intended German recipients. Convoys carrying vital supplies, food, and soldiers could be rerouted in real time to avoid the waiting U-boat wolfpacks. The hunters became the hunted. Armed with ultra-intelligence, Allied ships and aircraft could now go on the offensive, knowing exactly where to find the U-boat. They turned the tables in the Atlantic, sinking submarines and securing the fragile supply lines that kept Britain in the war. Ultra's impact went far beyond the sea. The intelligence was absolutely vital for planning the D-Day landings in Normandy. It gave Allied commanders, like Eisenhower, an unprecedented, almost godlike view of the German order of battle, revealing troop strengths, defensive positions, and even where Hitler believed the invasion would take place. This allowed them to deceive the German high command and ensure the success of the largest amphibious invasion in history. Looking back, the impact of this secret war is staggering. Historians now estimate that breaking the Enigma code shortened the war by at least 2 years, and perhaps even longer. By bringing the war to a faster conclusion, this secret army of minds, working tirelessly in their wooden huts, ultimately saved an estimated 14 million lives. An almost unbelievable number, achieved not with bombs or bullets, but with logic and ingenuity. Yet, when the war ended and the world celebrated, the thousands of men and women of Bletchley Park could not share their incredible story. They were sworn to absolute secrecy for life. They could not even tell their own families what they had done or the role they had played in winning the war. Their world-changing achievements were locked away, classified under the Official Secrets Act. To protect these invaluable intelligence methods for the looming Cold War, their groundbreaking machines, the very bombs that had turned the tide, were ordered to be dismantled and destroyed. Their incredible story was deliberately buried, and their legacy vanished from the history books for decades. For Alan Turing, the man whose genius had been so central to the victory, there were no public honors, no parades, no recognition. Tragically, his story takes a dark turn. After the war, he was prosecuted for his homosexuality, which was a crime in Britain at the time, by the very government he had done so much to save. He was stripped of his security clearance and subjected to chemical castration. His life ended in 1954, a hero lost in the shadows. It wasn't until the 1970s, when the official secrets began to be declassified, that the full, incredible story of Bletchley Park and the breaking of Enigma was finally revealed to a stunned public. The surviving codebreakers, now elderly, could finally speak of their achievements. Today, Bletchley Park is a museum where visitors can walk the same paths as Turing and see a rebuilt, working bomb machine clattering away. The story of Enigma is a powerful and humbling reminder that some of history's greatest battles, the ones that save millions of lives and shape the course of our world, are fought not on the fields of glory but in the silent secret war of minds. Thanks for watching. If you found this story as fascinating as I do, please hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the hidden corners of history. We'll see you next time.